Hi, so in this video, I want to talk about competitions. Not so much the actual competing part, but what to kind of expect overall at a competition as far as coming from a disability side. But before we dive into that, I want to thank everybody for subscribing, watching the videos, the likes, the comments, everything. I would have never thought that this much support would have came this quickly on my channel. And I thank all of you for that. Please continue to watch the videos. Subscribe if you haven't, please. Like the videos, and let's keep gaining some traction and getting disability as far as people participating in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out there. Also, please go check out my sponsor, mayhemonthemat.com. Use my discount code blind_BJJ to get 15% off. They make hoodies, they make shirts, great quality products, great messages, and a great mission using Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to help people combat their mental health battles. So go check them out, mayhemonthemat.com. And again, use my discount code blind_BJJ. So competitions. I did a lot of digging around on YouTube to try and find information on like what happens other than the actual matches at a competition. And I couldn't find anything. So I'm going to do one talking about kind of the concerns that I had as far as going to a competition. So first of all, my coach went with me, so that made it a lot easier. So if your coach is willing to go with you, great. It does make things a lot easier. Well, anybody can go with you for that matter to help. It makes it a lot easier. But from my experience, the one competition that I've done thus far, the staff was friendly enough that I don't think I would have had any issues in getting assistance from the staff directly to help me get where I needed to be. So definitely don't worry. If you can't find anybody to go with you, don't sweat it. I'm willing to bet money that the staff would help you, no problems. So the way my competition was set up is they had, if you think of it as a giant gymnasium, they had mats down the center of the room that cut the room into two sides. To the left was where the spectators went, and to the right was where the competitors were. My competition did not have, at least not that I was told of, I guess I should say, a warm-up area. So my warm-up was, I was in one of the back mats, so I went towards where my coach took me down to where my mat was, and we kind of set up, there was chairs, and we set up back there. And I just went through just not a full stretching and warm-up routine that I would have liked because, like I said, there was no warm-up mats and I had no idea what the condition of the floor was, and I didn't want to be rolling around on the concrete floor in my gi and then get on the mats and possibly just be dirty. So my warm-up routine was all standing primarily stuff, which is still adequate. For the most part. There's a couple stretches I wish I'd have been able to do, but that's besides the point. Another thing that you'll want to take into consideration is you'll definitely want to bring water, enough for the day, because the competition that I did, there was no concessions. So I took about a gallon jug of water. That way I knew I had enough water for the day. You'll also want to take something to eat. You want to eat prior to your competition. Well, prior to your matches, I should say. You'll want to eat something light. That way you're not got a full stomach when you go into your rolls. But then you want to possibly have something a little bit heavier for if you're going to hang out, like if you went with your team and you're watching other people compete. You might want to have something a little bit heavier to eat. So as far as being blind in competing, my coach walked me up to the mats, and then the referee took me from the edge of the mats and set me up in the center with my competitor. And as far as being blind and competing goes, the only difference between me and anybody else as far as a match goes is normally you would start standing and you'd be, I don't know, 3-4 feet apart, and then you would start grip fighting for takedowns or pulling guard, whatever the case may be. Being blind, my only tweak was we went ahead and started with grips. So I had a sleeve grip and a collar grip, and he had the same on me, and that's how we started the match. We were still standing, and that's how the match started. And then at the end of the match, again, the ref walked me to after we did the hand raising, the ref walked me to my coach at the edge of the mats, and then my coach guided me from there over to where we were set up and waiting for the next match. On that note, another thing that I want to talk about is tapping. For those who are not practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu yet and don't really know what tapping is when you are saying that they've locked in the submission and you give up, basically. When you tap, you want to try and tap on the person, and you want to do it somewhat hard. You want them to know that you're tapping. If you just barely touch them, it's very possible they won't even register it, and they'll keep going, possibly leading to injuries. If you can't tap on them just because of the position that you're in and you have to tap, whether it be with your feet, your hands, your elbows, even a verbal tap, you want to make sure it's loud so it can be recognized. So if you're tapping on the mat, you want to slap the mat, and you want to do it at least 3 times. That way you can get the point across and make sure that they recognize that you're tapping and they got it. If you're in a competition, as rude as it's going to sound, you're going to want to wait until the ref actually stops it. Recognize the tap, and don't keep going with your submission. Like, don't keep applying forward pressure. Hold it where it is. Wait until the ref goes, though, because there has been times where somebody tapped, but the ref didn't recognize it, and the person let go and went to stand up, and the guy that tapped pretended that he didn't and continued the fight. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So wait till the ref definitely stops it. I think that covers most of, as far as from a disabled side, kind of hopefully what you're looking for. If there's anything that I missed or you possibly have questions about as far as a competition and you're disabled, and like what to expect at the competition as a whole and not just the matches, please leave a comment and I will address those. And again, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment. I can't thank you guys enough for the support that you've shown. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.